We thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for the victory that He gave Musa alayhi salam by fasting. But it's not a celebration. Like Ashura was not a day for the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and his community of celebration. They fasted as a form of ibadah, as a form of worship, ayyaman ma'dudat, to thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We fast the day of Arafah, but obviously that is also in accordance with the Eid al-Adha, right? Is the day that comes with Eid al-Adha. So it's also a day of worship, and it comes annually. The Prophet ﷺ, did he used to celebrate his birth? You guys are like, oh no, he's starting a Mawlid debate. We already have moon sighting. He's going to go into a Mawlid debate. No. How did the Prophet ﷺ used to commemorate his birth though, for sure? Let's get away from the debate. Let's get away from the difference of opinion. Let's leave that for later on, all right? What did the Prophet ﷺ certainly used to do to thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? He said it's one of the reasons why he would fast on Monday. So he would commemorate his birth or thank Allah for his birth by fasting. So we thank Allah for things that have happened to us. I'm trying to establish a concept here. You guys are like, so wait a minute, what does this mean? Conceptually speaking, we thank Allah by what He has given to us, by what He has done for us, by ibadah, by fasting. So, Allah saved Musa alayhi salam. There was fasting. The Prophet ﷺ thanked Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for his birth, for bringing him into existence. So he fasted sallallahu alayhi wasallam. But celebration is very unique in Islam. The idea of a Eid is very unique in Islam. And one of the wisdoms that the scholars say about our Eids in Islam, our two Eids in Islam, is that they both come after worship. They both come after sacrifice. And they say that one of the wisdoms of that is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is teaching you the very nature of your relationship with Him. لِلصَّائِمِ فَرْحَتَانِ. For the one who fasts is 2 times of joy. The joy when they break their fast and the joy when they meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When you sacrifice for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then you have the joy of reaping the acceptance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the reward in that sense in this life, and you have the greater joy of seeing the reward of it in the next life. Both of our Eids are not marking an incident that happened to someone else. They're not marking some sort of season that we commemorate or some sort of incident that happened to someone else. They are marking our own actions. They accompany our own deeds. Now they parallel how other people would observe them for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, being the anbiya of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Eid al-Adha is inherently connected to the sacrifice of Ibrahim alayhi salam, but it's our sacrifice that has to be put forward. We don't just get together and have baklawa and have, cake and stuff like that, because we remember this is the day that Ibrahim alayhi salam got to sacrifice. We don't have a Eid al-Adha like a lamb hunt. We don't put sheep in the masjid and everyone try to find the sheep under a corner. At least I don't think we do that here. But we don't have a sheep hunt, right? There's no, Sheikh Yasser doesn't come out with a special vest on Eid al-Adha that's made of sheep skin so that he could, we could all find him and touch him. No, we have our own sacrifice. Oh, I gave away the surprise. Honestly, after the vest that you wore 2 days ago, Sheikh, I don't know what to expect anymore. Leather biker vest, Allahu A'lam what's going to come out on Eid al-Adha. But the point is that it's our sacrifice. Our sacrifice is met with a celebration. It's our fast. It's inherently connected to the Prophet ﷺ receiving revelation in Hira, Laylatul Qadr. It's inherently connected to the Prophet ﷺ's fasting, but it's our fasting. It's our qiyam. It's our observance. What is the wisdom of that, dear brothers and sisters? When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells you about the celebrations in Jannah, Allah reminds you, Jaza'an bima kuntum ta'malun. Enjoy. These are the fruits of your hard labor. What do we recite on Eid? قَدْ أَفْلَحَ مَنْ تَزَكَّى وَذَكَرَ اسْمَ رَبِّهِ فَصَلَّى. He has succeeded who has been toiling and purifying himself. تَزَكَّى. You are purifying yourself in tazkiyah. You have found success. You have found success. What do we read in Surah Al-Ghashiyah? لِسَعْيِهَا رَاضِيَةً. That on the Day of Judgment, the believers are pleased with their sa'i. They're pleased with their efforts. They're pleased with everything they put forth for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They're seeing the reward of it. So this is establishing the very basis of our relationship with Allah. That we work and then we celebrate. Now, are we celebrating the departure of Ramadan? And are we sure Allah accepted our Ramadan? This is a really, really important point, inshallah ta'ala. And here's where I want us to, inshallah ta'ala, hopefully take something that's very instructive. I hope the concept is there and it's understood, inshallah ta'ala, that our Eids are very unique from a